Okay, so today is Tuesday, November 4th. 1 week from now, it's Veterans Day. We will not meet. Okay, we will meet the following week. If you need support here on the homepage in Moodle, Monday through Friday, there are tutors in the DAC lab to support you, and their hours are on the homepage in Moodle. Also, lift your heads, please. Look up here. Right here, there's a link at the top of the homepage in Moodle called Staying on Schedule. And I show you this every week. Actually, let's keep your eyes up here. I know you're downloading stuff, but keep your eyes up here for a second. I believe that one day I missed some links here. And let's see if this one's viable. I may have missed this one, which is Parks in Santa Barbara. Did that display for us last time? Okay. So I made sure that our links work successfully. And the advantage of this is a research page. The advantage of the research page is the student at the time started accumulating beautiful photos. You know, one's not enough, right? We talked about that when we saw how deep we were going to go on things. You had a blast in the funk zone, didn't you? You had 58 pages of photographs. It was awesome. Awesome to see. You had detailed photos. You had big, broad photos. You had texture. You had all kinds of things. Keep that in mind. You know, I don't know about you guys, but I photograph everything on the planet up close, all around. What's going to make these beautiful isn't honestly a photograph necessarily like what we're looking at here, shoreline photos. What's going to make these beautiful are artistic photos, interesting times of day, like for example, if you're playing with my iPad, that beautiful sunrise of the Bay Bridge in San Francisco. Different times of day. I know it requires no sleep or lots of sleep or whatever. But try and be unusual with it. Accumulate photos. The next step we should all be at, which I think I asked all of you to do, was to start sketching out your roughs. How many of you brought that in today? You did. Okay. And you did, Deborah? Yeah. Anybody else? No? Okay. I can't tell you. This is a lot of independent learning. You guys are going to have to commit to giving away your life for a while to make this all happen, okay? And it'll be worth it. So I did upload this, many field guides. Oh, I think these are it. I did have some roughs, I think, or thumbnails. Let's see, was I missing that? No. Click on these links. Researching photographs. Oh, these might have been the ones that weren't working. Here they are. Yeah, these you didn't see, I don't believe. So again, more research, starting to accumulate photographs. What's going to make a photograph interesting? What's an interesting perspective of it? Make sure you're clear about your maps and how you'll handle your maps instead of just doing a Google map of it. Will those dots, when you touch on those dots, be interactive and open up a photograph of the bench, a description of the bench, a video saying, oh my God, you have to see this bench. It's so cool. I sat there for 12 hours and this is what happened, right? You have to decide what the interactivity is. And then color samples, you know, some of you just grabbing color samples, be thoughtful about it. What's your point? What's your intention? You know, maybe you're going to decide your whole iPad publication is monochromatic, like black and white. And the only thing that shows up in color might be the bench or I don't know what. But be thoughtful about it. A lot of you have done font samples. This, to me, isn't really a good font sample, I hate to tell you. And everybody does it because that's the standard that's been set. What I would do with font samples is I would take really, really seriously what you think your 3 fonts are that you might consider, and then start playing with them in terms of headline, body copy, subhead, pull quotes, captions. and I create paragraph style sheets that do that in an InDesign document. And then I would, if you work with paragraph style sheets in an InDesign document and you select your fonts and you set them up as paragraph style sheets, headline, subhead, body copy, caption, then all you have to do is save that identical document, open it up, rename it, change the font, which is a matter of a pull-down menu, and see how different it looks, right? Super easy, super easy. So not painful once you've got the setup going. That's my recommendation, because you don't really know what your fonts are going to look like. I'm a believer in sans serif headlines and serif body copy, usually. I'm not one for serif headlines and sans serif body copy. It's my style thing. So in other words, I might make my headlines as pretty central sans pro, which is really obviously pretty. Yes?
The trend in online publications is sans serif body copy.
Yeah, it's getting there. But thank you, that's important. So I like really clean, bold heads, or I like really light, large heads, for example. Or you might just decide to stay in a complete single family, like Gill Sans, and use it from the bold to the light. Sans serif body copy, just like this right here where it says concept, I love sans serif fonts. You're right, John just said the trend in digital media is sans serif. It's clean, not little tails breaking up when they curve, right? But one of the things, if you're looking at the iPad in front of you, do you have it there? You might want to pass it around. If you're looking at the iPad in front of you, I took notes on the iPad on the screen, if you enlarge it, what size my point size my type was when I made my page, and what font it was when I made my page, and what the difference is. And that's what I'd also start with. Like, don't get so deep into your iPad that you've done it all and then you upload it and test it and say, yikes, it looks terrible, right? So my recommendation is make a test set of, I know, it's so funny, right? There you go. Make a test of 4 pages of different fonts, see what they look like, upload it to the iPad, test it and say, ugly, pretty, whatever. And that's how you should pare it down. At least the horse isn't going to go neigh constantly, right? Anyway, so that's my thought. This is a perfect example of a subhead and body copy and headline size. Yeah, John?
I think you hit on something really important there with resolutions on the iPad. Resolutions, the Retina displays are getting so detailed now that you can go back to your serif body copy because it will render out nicely.
Right. And if you look on the iPad, like Nick, if you look right on the iPad, there is body copy right on it that says Minion Pro, and it says 9 point on 14-point leading or something, and it's readable. And you can certainly do that and blow it up. Bless you. But anyway, keep that in mind as you do it. There's also a link here for, who was I on? Let's try this bench one. Same topic, different approach. You know, they've only taken a portion of bench or unique angle. Personally, I find all these benches really unattractive, so they certainly do not inspire me. There's nothing attractive about these photos to me. So when you pick something, your job, you're the graphic artist. Oh, there's one that's interesting. You're the graphic artist. You really need to be the one to decide what's going to make this compelling and engaging. Good bench color palettes, right? Organic colors. Again, looking at the fonts really doesn't tell us much. I think looking at the fonts on an iPad and testing it on a page, that'll help you out. And I do that first as you start to just get familiar with, here's the flow, here's how I test it, okay? And if you have a big monitor display and no iPad at home, that's okay. Bring your screen down to size, right, to where you believe it's the same size as what the iPad is going to view it as, and then make a judgment about it. Or go to different iPad publications and see what thrills you. The other thing I wanted to bring you back to this design staying on schedule thing is, I got a little crazy last week because John said we lost all our videos, but he recovered all of them except for his.
Yeah.
And then I got, I had all these photos that I took photographs of, goes around that way, I think, all the way around the room. Here, which is, I made a PDF file for you guys. Whoops, I want to go smaller. I made a PDF photo for you guys of the boards, so we would save them forever, right? And here they are. So whether this is yours or not doesn't really matter. If you were here that day, you're going to look at it and you're going to say, oh yeah, I remember how we drew the connections. And it'll kind of spur your interest, right? Or your memory. Yeah, okay. And all of this is here in this left column under what happens each week. The audio part of the video crashed. My apologies. My notes, okay? My notes to you guys, they're all here. Okay, any questions about anything we talked about there? All right, then I'm gonna pause, yeah.
Can I just confirm that this Staying on Track is updated for the next 2 weeks? So since we're not meeting, can I rely on this to know where I should be and what I'm doing?
What an intelligent question. Thank you. We will look. And before we leave today, we will look. Pretty much what you need to understand is if we come back here and we go to these assignments, this class has clearly been designed as a hybrid, which basically means this is your touchstone moment. Most of this, as you well know, it happens outside of class, and you know that. So I think we are pretty much on schedule, actually, because you've all done the multi-state interactivity. Today we'll do pan and zoom together and image sequencing. And then we'll see where we are in time, and we can try and navigate these together today if you want to just keep plugging ahead. I haven't done them, so I'm going to stumble through, but we can try it, okay? Yeah, does that work for you? It's a good use of your time today. Do you all agree? Okay, all right. Then I'm going to pause this to give you the opportunity